Welcome back. I want to talk to you today about a question that comes up a lot. I don't know if we're going to necessarily answer the question, but we're going to approach the question from a Jewish halachic point of view and see what source material we have that can help us maybe with this very, very serious problem that is raised a lot, and that is copying from the internet, downloading songs onto your personal player. Is there an ethical problem in doing this? It's a large subject. There are a lot of rabbis that have many different opinions on this subject, and I'm not here to argue with anyone. I just want to present to you some cases that we have in the Talmud and see if maybe they're going to be similar. We can compare them to the case of downloading something from the internet. The case I want to tell you about today, just one case, we're going to have a very short shiur today, just one case I want to tell you about. The Gemara speaks about a guy who walks up to an olive tree. He sees an olive tree standing in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of land that doesn't belong to anyone. And he climbs up that tree and he starts shaking the tree from the top so that the olives start falling down. And his intention is that he's going to come down from the tree in a minute and gather up the olives and go and sell them. And that's his parnasah. That's the way this guy earns his living. The olives don't belong to anyone. The fact that he shook the tree is not an act of acquisition. And therefore, even when they fell on the ground that is ownerless. And that they don't belong to him when they've fallen to the ground. What happens now if a third party sees what this guy's doing at the top of the olive tree and he says, wow, great, olives, comes along with a big bag and gathers up the olives that the first guy has caused to fall to the ground and walks off with them? Has he done something wrong? Is he a thief? Has he acted immorally? Chazal here said that this second guy that comes along and takes the olives is considered as a thief. But he's considered not as a normal thief, as a thief d'Rabbanan. We know that in all Isurim of the Torah, we have two levels. We have a level of a Torah Isur and the level of a d'Rabbanan Isur. Here, he's not really a thief according to the Torah. Why? Because the olives don't belong to the first guy. All the first guy did was exert tremendous effort to create a situation where the olives can be collected. He created the situation. While the olives are on the tree, someone else wouldn't be able to jump up and take them. But now that they're on the ground, now you can take them easily. And that's all because of the first guy's effort. Seeing as you're benefiting so much from this first guy's effort, you're considered as a thief if you're not going to pay him for those olives. That's the case that the Gemara brings, and this case is brought down in the Shulchan Aruch as being the halacha, that if someone climbs up an olive tree and brings down the olives, someone else comes and collects them, then that second guy is considered as a thief d'Rabbanan. What's this got to do with the internet? When I made a song, right? I'm not actually a singer, but let's say I did. Someone made a song, they've put into that song tremendous effort and tremendous money sometimes. But when it's been put out on the internet, so now it's in a situation where anyone can freely take it. The guy that put it out, the guy that put out the disc on the internet, he's the person that has actually stolen from the singer. But once it's on the internet, however sad we are about this situation, it is in fact in a situation of hefker. Even though the owner, the singer, is not happy about it, there's really nothing he can do. Once the song is out on the internet, it's as if it's hefker, and it's as if it's ownerless. It's there in a situation where anyone can take it. And that we have to accept. As I said again, the person who took this guy's song and put it out on the internet, he's the person that did something wrong. But for me to take it, I'm taking something that is hefker. I'm taking something that is ownerless right now. Right? However sad that situation is, and we don't want that to happen, but nevertheless, right now, that song is ownerless. It's like if you're walking through the marketplace and someone has just bought a kilo of tomatoes and the bag breaks and they scatter everywhere around the marketplace. So everyone knows that it's the right thing to do to pick up those tomatoes and give them back to the little old lady whose bag has just been torn and who's lost them. That's clear, there's nothing to talk about. But can you say that I'm a thief if I don't do that? You can't say I'm a thief, because as soon as that little old lady in the middle of the marketplace has lost all her tomatoes, she's given up any hope of ever getting them back. So the song that's on the internet is probably Hefka. But someone has gone through tremendous effort to create that Hefka. And to create that Hefka, the guy that climbed up the tree, that's the comparison. He's gone through tremendous effort, he's taken a risk, he maybe even risked his life by climbing up this tree, and he has created these olives that have fallen around, which are now in a situation of Hefka, that they're ownerless. For me to come along and take them, we see that I'm considered as a thief if I do so. So does that mean that I've come here to say that you're a thief if you download something that's on the internet, even though the owner has given up any hope of getting it back? Not necessarily. And I'll tell you why. Because there's a big difference between the case of the olives and the case of the song on the internet. One big difference is that the number of olives is limited, whereas the number of songs you can download is not limited. So when I download one of those songs, I'm not actually taking something away from the owner of the song. I can hear you all screaming, yes, he is. When you download a song, you're taking away his royalty payment. And you're right, 100%. Whenever I download a song, I'm taking away his royalty payment. But that's only if I would have bought the song. If I wouldn't have bought it, then I'm not causing him a loss. And maybe therefore, it would be dependent on that. If I would have bought the song, then I'm going to cause him a loss by downloading it. And it would be comparable to the case of the olive tree in the deserted place. But if I wouldn't have bought it, then maybe not. As I said, I'm not passing any halachas here. I'm just suggesting, putting out an idea. I'm not the first person to think of this idea either, that we can talk about and think about, an item for discussion. Let me make one other point here, and that is that, as far as I know, I'm no expert on the internet, as far as I know, there are things that most singers can do nowadays so that their discs cannot be put out on the internet. And someone who didn't do that can't come with any claims afterwards that it was put out on the internet, and it could be that they put it out on the internet intentionally, because a lot of them today are earning their main living from live performances rather than from the discs. And the discs are a way of advertising themselves to get live performances. An item for discussion. Thank you.